Hello everyone and welcome to another video on the Guild Wars 2 lore blog posts. This blog post in particular is a very short little fun one really. I'm almost hesitant to do it because it's just such a short little blog, it almost feels ridiculous to read it out. However, I am in the middle of building up a backlog of a lot of videos I want to be able to upload during my first few weeks when I start my new job, and I'm not sure how long the commute's going to be and I'm not sure how that's going to affect video production. So I'm going to do it anyway, and it's a pretty cool one. I think it's a cool article because it's such a small little fun thing for them to have put out that I think it really does show the love the writers have of the Asura. So yeah, we're still in the middle of Asura week, and there were actually a lot of articles that came out on Asura week for these little guys. I really do feel like they probably have a bit of a special spot for the writers and for some of the guys that are reading it. I remember in one of their official trailer videos, a lot of the developers were talking about what races they want to play, and they undoubtedly like the Char more than anyone else. I don't think that you can really disagree with that, but you can see quite a few of them talking about how the Asura really are their kind of thing, and I think I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure Jeff Grubb, one of the actual world builders, says that he quite likes the Asura as well. And in fact, this blog post here is written by Jeff Grubb. It's a very cool little one. The premise is that what would happen essentially if you had an agony aunt in a magazine that was an Asura. They've called it Hey Bookah, and that's the screen you can see there. The footage in the background is me playing through some challenge missions a couple of weeks ago now. It's a bit long overdue really, but that's me in the background playing with you guys, the viewers, there in Guild Wars 1. We were doing a couple of challenge missions, and because this is such a short article, it will probably be the same footage in at least the next video as well. But yeah, so let's get to it. Hey Bookah, smart Asura answers to stupid questions. Right, so the Asura are known throughout Tyria for their analytical approach to life and the pragmatic way they handle problems. So who is better suited to dispensing doses of wisdom to the cranially challenged than an Asura advice columnist? Alright, well, we will see. So the first question comes in. It says, hey, dear Bookah, as an engineer, I enjoy tinkering with gadgets and gear, like my new lemonade turret. The trouble is, my lemonade ends up tasting like gunpowder and machine oil. What am I doing wrong? Signed, Arid in Ascalon. Okay, and the Asura writes back, hey Arid Bookah, you're not, in case you guys aren't aware, by the way, I should probably say this, Bookah, it was a term that was introduced in Guild Wars 1. It's a derogatory term that the Asura used to refer to other races, in particular humans. It did have a place in Asuran speech many years ago. It was essentially a word that Asura would use for, like, the boogie monster to children Asura, but it seems like over the 250 years from the first game to now Guild Wars 2, Bookah is definitely used more in reference to being a derogatory term for humans, which is quite funny. So, hey, Arid Bookah, you're doing nothing wrong, he says. Only the small-minded and pedantic would insist that rotary-delivered lemonade tastes like previous, outmoded versions. Turn your mind into proper marketing, I say. You don't have a lemonade turret, you have a fresh, lemon-scented ammunition. Brilliant! When life gives you lemons, shoot them back at life. At high velocity. Okay, so these are the kind of things we're going to be getting here. Hopefully it will give you guys a good chuckle. There are, what, 5 of these? The next one comes in from Lonely in Lion's Arch, who says, dear Hey Bookah, I'm a handsome young warrior who's fallen in love with a cute girl, but she only wants to love me for my mind. How can I convince her that my muscles are as cool as my brain? Like this would ever happen in real world. Okay, so signed, Lonely in Lion's Arch. And the Asura writes back, hey Lonely Bookah, you poor, poor, doomed thing. In any battle between brains and muscle, brains will be the ultimate victor. You may be good for lifting heavy objects, but she will ultimately throw you over for the first genius that can calculate the differential vector of a curve that comes her way. Take heart though, if she wants you for your mind, she can't be that smart to start with. Oh, I love how underhanded that is, brilliant. I just want in-game the Asura to, I'd love to see scenarios like this where the Asura are talking to humans in just these kinds of ways. This would be absolutely brilliant. So yes, Asura cannot fathom the idea that a human is particularly intelligent, especially in comparison to them. So the next question comes in from Hungry and Holbrack, so I guess we can assume this is a Norn, or maybe it is a human. I mean, the column's called Hey Bookah, so I guess we can kind of assume these are all humans here. Dear Hey Bookah, Grawl, keep eating all my cabbage crops. I didn't even know they liked cabbage. What can I do to keep these things out of my yard? So a nice little bit of confirmation there that cabbage does exist in the Guild Wars universe. And the Asura writes back, hey Hungry Bookah, I'd recommend scattering landmines randomly throughout the field and mounting automatic flame protectors with motion-sensitive hair triggers at all corners. Then spray the remains with a virulent plague virus. Oh, you want to eat the cabbages yourself? do I have to think of everything? Okay, so he's got a pretty good solution there for getting rid of the Grawl, but not necessarily keeping the cabbage edible. Well, the next and final question comes in from Exasperated Elementalist, who says, Dear Hey Bookah, I'm a human elementalist who runs with a couple of Blood Legion Char warriors. These big tough Char always complain whenever I attune to water. They say they don't need the healing and that the humidity makes their hair frizzy. What can I say to convince these Char that water magic is good for them? So if this has somehow gone over your head, the Char obviously a feline race, so the idea is they're cats and they don't like water. Signed, Exasperated Elementalist. And our friendly agony aunt Asura writes back, Hey, Exasperated Bookah. What is this runs with nonsense? Char are larger than you are, and therefore dumber. This is a proven fact. This is why Asura are shorter than you, and far smarter. You should not be running with the Blood Legion. You should be driving them before you, more terrified of your Mystic Spray bottle than of any foe they face. If that doesn't work, I know where you can get a lemonade turret for cheap. There we go. So yeah, that's the whole thing. That's the blog post. I love it. I really do. Like I say, with Asura Week, they put out a lot more blog posts. We got a whole extra story, that Mr. Sparkle's story from before, and that also that I just read out was a little bit of an extra too. Really, really fantastic. I do think it shows quite clearly how much the writers love writing for the Asura. They've talked before about how much joy they get out of writing for them because the Asura comes up with such crazy names for their inventions like Flobmametras and all kinds of crazy bullshit terms like that. It's just really, really, really fun, and I think that it was awesome that ArenaNet actually put this out. I wonder how many things the writing teams got written like this, but they just don't put out because they feel like it doesn't have much of a place. I say bring it out, man. Even though this was short, this is very, very funny, and it shows that side of the Asura. We will learn in the next article written by Heron Pryor, who's talking about animating the Asura. We will learn that comedy really is a big factor of the Asura as a race. It's something that I'm still kind of coming to terms with from what we knew of the Asura in Guild Wars 1, but it definitely is a big part of the Asura, and I think it's really, really nice that ArenaNet took the time to put this out there. And I say, yeah, as I say before, bring it on. I'd love to see even more. But there you go, guys. Very quick little lore blog here. As I say, this will be a part of the backlog if I find a day that I'm struggling to put something out. I hope you guys enjoyed it. There will be a link to it in the description if you want to read it for yourselves. And I guess I'll see you next time. See you later, everybody.